Good afternoon, everyone. Coach Bartosik here. Just making a kind of a mid-season video for Blue Jays. Going to make some adjustments, change our formation up a little bit, and kind of cover some strategy for the team moving forward. So as you kind of look at your picture right now, up down here is the keeper, obviously, and then we're on a 4-3-1, right? So 4 in the back line, 3 in the mid line, and 1 up top as a striker. That's the formation we've been using up to this point. We are going to be switching over to a 3-2-3, which looks something like this. So here's our 3-2-3 formation. Some of the reasons that we're doing this is the 4-3-1 at times can be more of a defensive-minded formation. So what we're going to try to do is actually, instead of having one player before, as you saw before in the 4-3-1, we had one player on the front line. We now have 3 on the front line. Took 1 off the mid line, and now we're down to 2 here, and then we just have 3. We'll actually have these pieces probably in just a little bit tighter. But what this is going to allow us to do is create more offensive plays, situations, create more scoring opportunities. So real quick, with the lines, you see the dotted lines. For those who are not familiar with it, these are basically the 5 channels in soccer. For our purposes, we'll just call it our lanes. Stay in your lanes, all that type of thing. As you can see, the 2 channels, basically 1 and 5 on the outside, those are the wide channels. 2 and 4 in the middle, those are our half channels. And then the channel number 3 being the center channel. So what we like to do there is we like to make sure that, generally speaking, if we have a player out here, say this is our right back out here, they're out here in the wide channel. As the course of the game goes on, sometimes they may move over towards the inner part of the half channel, and potentially, if the ball's on the far side of the field, they might go as far over as center field, right? As all these other pieces naturally shift over if the ball's on this side of the field. What we don't want to do is basically have a player that is kind of starting out in lane 5, and they're all the way over here in lane 2. You can replicate this kind of scenario anywhere on the field, but basically, what we wind up doing is we create like a huge gaps and zones that leaves us open for vulnerabilities. So we try to maintain our lane integrity as much as possible. It also helps us keep us naturally spread out when we are in possession. So we're in possession, generally speaking, we're kind of spread out like this, especially with a formation like this. When we are out of possession, meaning the other team has the ball, so what we want to do is we play more compact, we play more central, right? So these 2 pieces are more kind of on the edges of the center lane. These outside pieces have moved from the wide channel, closer to, I would say, the middle of the half channels, right? And the same thing, we replicate this process all the way across the board. And the intent of this is, as you can see, once we start to play more compact and more central, if the opposing team has the ball, they're trying to come down the center, it's going to dissuade them from coming down the center, right? They're naturally going to want to, dribble the ball to the outside. We want to push them to the outside because obviously in any sport, the most undefeated defender of all time is the sideline. We have a sideline on either side, so we want to discourage them from going up the middle, push them out to the side, push them to the sideline if possible, and regain possession. Okay, so now if we kind of look at all the pieces on the board and reviewing the 3-2-3 formation, so basically what is their range of movement, right? So kind of like we did in a 4-3-1 with our lone striker would always stay high, never really coming past the midline. We want that front line, right? So our left forward, center forward, and right forward should always be staying high in the sense of they should never be coming back past the midline. And this includes even if the ball is down in the box, because if the ball is down in the box, we'll have our 3 backline defenders, we'll have our 2 defenders, so we'll at least have 5 in the box. And ideally, what makes it even better is you have 4 in the box and potentially 1 in the middle, so we don't have this gap. So once we win possession, say if there's a corner kick, once we win possession, instead of dribbling it all the way up and then our front line running up, we have almost like in baseball, if you will, like you got your cutoff man right here in the middle. Someone always needs to be in the middle between the top of the keeper box and the midline to be that cutoff person. So once you win possession here from the team, from the opposing team, right? Ideally, if you just won possession, what does that mean? Someone is right nearby you. So dribbling is not always going to necessarily be the best option. The best option is to pass the ball to someone who is most likely open, because they will probably have a large number of personnel down in the box. So win that possession, you have somebody on you, immediately pass it up, and then we are already halfway there. This cutoff person basically can turn around and now has 3 options to go up the field. So ideally, we want to keep those 3 very, very high. On occasion, maybe we might drop the center forward down. That'll be a judgment call in game. But like I said, for the most part, they're probably going to stay high. Moving these pieces back to their corresponding lines. So your 2 midline. So your 2 midfielders, they're pretty much box to box. You see the green arrows going from the top of each penalty box. That's just your general normal range. But yes, if we are on the defense, if we do have a corner kick, if they are in our box, these players should be dropping down into the box. And just the same, if we are on attack, they are going to be joining the attack with those 3 forwards up top. And then, of course, once we look at the back line, even though we're not going to be exactly this spread out, it's just for the purposes of showing that range. That basically the backline defenders, I mean, their range is from the end line all the way up to the midline, right? We don't want them going past, because then we're too aggressively forward, and if the opponents get a fast break, we'll have no defenders back here to support the keeper in a fast break. And then, of course, flipping things around, same thing in principle on the opposite side, if we are, in fact, on the attack. And we did a real good job of this past week. We should always have 3 defenders right here in the middle of the field, basically 1 center circle, and the other 2 kind of not exactly on the edge of the circle, maybe a little bit tighter in. And that fits with that same principle. We're already set up on the back line. If we're in attack and we lose possession and there is a fast break, then whoever might be coming down the field, again, is going to be dissuaded from driving right down the middle. They're going to go to the sideline, right, which is going to create more time for them to go around us, and that allows our pieces to do a pressure, cover, and balance, and allows everyone to kind of get back into position. And I'm kind of jumping around here a bit for the sake of this drill. What we're going to do here is, for the moment, is we're going to say that the ball was at the middle of the field. The opponents had it. This will signify the ball. This is our right mid who has 1 possession. It turns out he has some space. There's nobody around him. Defenders behind him. And so now he has some space to dribble. So what we've seen happening at times is, as we start to dribble the ball, a lot of times some of our teammates will actually stand there and not move. So what we want to do is, in that situation, we want to make sure that even if we're not moving that much, we're at least trying to create some sort of an angle. But actually, what would be optimal in this case is definitely, so just think about those 5 lanes that we had drawn up before. So ideally, let's just say for right now that this is Ike who's got the ball, and say this is perhaps maybe Ella. Ella should be moving from that wide channel into that half channel, and this could be Anderson moving down in the center channel. Everyone's going into the box. This could be Dalton or whoever. He's moving into his lane. He's going into that half channel, and then on the backside, say, is Luca. So we've got basically all of the lanes covered. Ike has taken the ball and either done a shallow cross. Shallow cross is basically once he gets to the top of the penalty box, he's crossing it right here. Or ideally, even better, if it's possible, is actually take it all the way to the end line. And what that tends to do at times is that can actually draw the keeper out of the box, draw defenders towards Ike or Oscar or whoever it may be, and allows them to do shallow cross, in which case the ball is sent right out in front of the goal. And there's an opportunity for at least, it's either a short cross here or it goes most likely across the goal. And there's 1, 2, 3 opportunities for someone to put it in the back of the net. And jumping over to goal kicks. So what I'd like to do is kind of continue to build upon what we did this past week. Have Dalton down here early on in the game, perhaps take some long kicks. What we want to try to avoid this upcoming for the rest of the 3 games is putting any deep kicks basically right across the middle. Our aiming point is going to be as high as we can get it. Deep angles to basically where the midline meets the sideline, either this way or that way. And these are where our top line, so our right forward and left forward would be up there. So whether it's Ella or Braley or Luca or Wyatt or whoever should be up there high. Anderson's probably going to be somewhere right up around the center there. And so as the defense starts to adjust and realize that we're kicking it long and they start to back up, we'll make that adjustment. We'll see that, and then the keeper will actually just inbound it into Dalton. Ideally, the opponent's already backed up. Dalton will take his space and keep dribbling, ultimately drawing defenders in, and then basically he'll send the long pass. It's a shorter distance for him to send that long pass. And once you're at the top of the box and they start to commit, if we want to send a long pass down the middle, with Anderson being up high, obviously a lot more comfortable sending long passes over the center from this position as opposed to from back here, where it's kind of a 50-50 ball in the middle of the field, and we're creating scoring opportunities for the opponents. That's pretty much all I have for today's video. Just wanted to give this basically a quick overview, and sometimes visual aids are a lot better. Some of the stuff the players are going to be seeing this for the first time today. So if they can go back and review this video, it's, the runtime, it's looking like it's getting ready to push on to 15 minutes. So it's not super long, and also may be beneficial and helpful for parents to see what we're trying to do on the field, what kind of adjustments we're trying to make, and all that type of stuff. But so just a 30,000 foot overview, and we'll keep pushing forward and look forward to seeing what we can accomplish the rest of the season. Thanks for your time. Take care. Bye-bye.